You think it's
Hi,
that?
Ian. Yeah. Dun, 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 dun,
Okay,
dun.
I see it
I
coming
guess,
through here.
It's working
I
now,
guess
but I
I'll,
don't know why it
I,
wasn't.
I guess
Can they
I'll
hear us
just do a
now?
dance.
Can they hear us now?
No, not yet. They're gonna tell us though. I'm just gonna dance until they can.
Hearing you.
Mm,
It's back.
mm,
Yay!
mm.
Did you solve it, Eddie?
I think so.
Now I have to watch what I say.
Yes.
Okay. All
You
right.
can-
I'll be good.
But
Now
you see, you can watch what you say because you can watch yourself in the thing.
I
and-
can watch what I say.
Yeah, watch.
Well, okay, we're live now. Let us know if it. Thank you, Kaya. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Yes.
you. I work at it.
Good afternoon. Welcome to another episode of Shenanigans
Look
with
at me
Becky
sitting
and Brent.
down today. Ugh.
Well, didn't you deserve
Ugh.
it? Didn't you earn it with all the grandkids?
Oh, I need to get up. You can't even
Oh,
see
I
me.
totally forgot to. Oh, dang it.
Oh, Deanna says she's trying to get sound. Yes, hi, Danny. Miss you. Danny's not in the house, but she's
Yes.
with us in spirit. Like,
Yes.
share, and subscribe. Yes, our account has nicked up a tad again.
Yes, that's
so
a good thing.
it always makes me feel good. I don't like it when it goes the other direction.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes me worry. But anyway,
Yeah.
can we just start off? Deanna, did you get sound yet?
Oh, I know what I wanted. I have to grab something.
I want to start off with the quiz from last week's show
Oh, yeah.
to get us in the
Start off.
spirit.
Okay.
Are we ready, Ed? Are you ready for the quiz? Ed. Last week, yes, no. Give me one of these.
We needed a new cord.
Uh-oh.
We're good though. We're good right now.
Are you sure? Because
Yeah.
nobody's... Can y'all hear me?
We're good. And then
Give me a high.
we're good.
Okay, Kaya, thank you. All right, here's the quiz. Quiz time. This is based on coming in and out, says Rhonda. Goes and comes. Ugh. Yay. Okay, good. All right. Here goes. Last week's quiz. $10 GC for those who get the answer right. Are you ready? This is one for the record books.
Okay.
Brent was showing us during Workbench how to troubleshoot when some of our hoops or all of our hoops might be too tight going in and out of our embroidery yarn.
Yes.
Yes, he did.
I
yes,
did.
he did. What did Brent suggest we use petroleum jelly for? Yep, that's what he said. Petroleum jelly. You did.
I know I did.
What? Deanna says gone again. Oh no. What do we use petroleum jelly for? Grease up the rails. Yay! Jing.
Yeah.
Yeah, slide bars. Yeah, on the track. And look
Okay.
at they all were listening.
Yeah.
Okay, but now the next question is lube the frame.
Yeah.
Lube the frame.
Yeah.
Has anybody tried petroleum jelly on their frame? Because it's messy.
I was just a little bit as I
Oh,
need.
maybe I used too much petroleum jelly. I'm like, it's everywhere
Yeah,
now.
just need a little bit. I would, like I said, I recommended-
No, me either.
The only reason I recommend it is because that's something a lot of people have around the house.
Well, I have
Nobody
Crisco. I have Crisco around the house,
Yeah.
and I have butter. Can I use that? I don't have petroleum jelly in my craft room. Just saying.
Most people don't have lithium grease. I mean, if you had lithium grease, that would be ideal. Or you could even get
I
a.
don't have that either. Whoop.
Or you could get a.
A little goes a long way. That
Yeah.
was my big mistake.
Yeah, it just takes a
I
little
had
bit.
a mess everywhere, and then it's in here and it's in there, and then they're all sliding up and down. I'm like, oh no.
You just need a little bit across the
Yeah,
top.
I apparently forgot the little bit
Okay.
part, and I was
Yes.
lubing.
All right.
Okay, we got GCs all over the place here. Did you keep track of that? Danny's not
Danny's
here.
at home. She's at home. She got it
Poor
all.
Danny. Danny's not at home here.
Yeah.
There were a lot of them.
Yeah, but
The first one was
Jean.
Jean.
And then Jean.
And then Jean
and
kicked
then-
right back in,
then
and then
Kaya,
Kaya,
and
then
then Bev.
Bev.
And then John. But
And
Jean already
John.
got it, so.
Okay, so, poor John.
We'll just give them all out.
Janice got it too.
Yeah. So we'll just do it all.
There's some heavy GCs going out.
We'll just. Yeah.
Congratulations, all. Thank you for listening.
Yes.
Now I want to see Crisco and butter with rancid.
Would go rancid. That's a good point.
Huh.
Yeah, that's why you don't use it for like stuff.
It would go rancid,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I'm not eating it.
Yeah, but if you got it like on your thing, then like a mouse would eat it or
Oh,
something.
okay. So stay away from Crisco and
Yeah.
butter. All right. Okay.
Yes. Do you know that? Do you know that's why we don't kill as many whales? We used to use whale oil for everything, and then they discovered petroleum, and that's what saved the whales.
Huh.
So like the answer to one ecological problem was the next one.
That was always a problem. You're very welcome,
Anyway.
Janice. Thank you for participating.
Okay, so I guess that over to me for shop news.
It is over to you. I opened us up with an exciting quiz. So
shop
boom.
news, yeah, we've we had some kits come in last week. I think we showed all those off. This came in yesterday. I don't know if I have it on the
I snagged
This came
it
in
as soon as I
late.
saw it.
There's a few of these in.
Can we open it? You're going to
Yes,
show the
you
fabrics.
can open if you want.
I already did.
That's
So.
this is just a kit box that we've got.
It's piece, but the fabric is really cool.
Yes, okay. But we didn't get any of the coordinates. This is one of those things I just bought the kits because
bought the kits. That's
the kits are
fine.
fun.
That's all you need to do is buy the kit.
And now you want me to open it? Did you open
It
it?
slides up. Yeah, I
Well,
did.
why did you close it if you had it open?
Because
You
it
know
looked
that-
prettier closed.
You know that
It
I-
is cute, Kaya. It's really cute.
You know
I
that
wish I had
saw-
time to make it for my daughter-in-law because it's so her colors in her family room. Or I
Alright.
said I'm going to buy it for my daughter-in-law and she can make it. And I said, oh no, kidding, she'll
See,
never make it.
It'll come with this beautiful
Look,
pattern.
I love the fabrics. I love them.
And then here are the fabrics. They have kind of that
Sweater
knit look.
season.
Yeah, they have like that knit look to it.
Featuring Forest Friends. I love it. By Jennifer Long.
Yes. So those are the fabrics. This is the
It's
kit.
very cool. It's pinks and teals.
I don't even have a
It's-
price on this yet because I have.
It's very
modern.
modern looking.
Modern.
It's a more ay. It's more timely.
Yes, and it's a
it's
big
a
quilt.
timely fabric collection.
It's a big quilt. It has lots of
It is.
fabric.
It's 75 by 91.
My suspicion, like I said, I have to check it out, but I'm
Can
gonna
you
say
just show the background fabric?
the
See,
price,
to me, that's very important.
The
the
price is
background
going to be around $200 just off the top of my head. I have to still look up the invoice and everything. This came in late yesterday.
It's the colors that do me. It's the colors.
I'm gonna make a mess of this.
That's all right. I'll put it back.
They have it
They
so
need to
nice.
see the background because on this it just looks white and it's not.
Yeah, it's not white. It's this
It's
right here.
gray. So here's what I love about this. I might have to buy one of these even though I don't have time to make it right now.
Well,
Look
you just leave it in the box
Look
and you
at
have
the
it for.
grays and the teals. That's what I meant about it being, help me, Brent, modern.
Modern.
Yeah.
Modern is what you're trying to
That's
say.
what I'm trying to say.
And Joanne
Look
was
at
trying
those.
to say modern.
That's a kill. Oh my lord, a quilt that can stay up in
Yeah, it's a
for
it's a
through
winter.
to February.
Yeah, it's a winter quilt. It's not a Christmas quilt. That's what's.
Yeah, that's what I really like about
It's like
it. And I
sweater
love the
weather,
Argyle
so-
sweaters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that
Beautiful.
That came in.
Beautiful.
That's all. that I
How
really
big
had.
is the quilt? The quilt is 75 by 91 1/4.
So that is gonna be, gosh, queen at least full. That's-
And the way they quilted it, I don't know if it shows up on the camera, but I even liked how they quilted it. Oh, it doesn't show up on there. Oh yeah, it does here. Eddie, I don't know if you can get a close up of the quilting. They didn't even do anything really fancy on the quilt. Becky, down, up. Where do you want me?
Leave it still is what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
Sorry, sweater wetter. Oh my, yeah, I'm a sweater girl, Jean. Okay, I don't know if you can see the quilting on there, but it's like little.
Oh yeah, little just.
It's not. It's truthfully, it's built into our machines.
Yeah.
If you happen to own an embroidery machine, but I don't know if you want to do one this big. But there it is. Isn't that pretty?
It is.
It is simple. I like how simple it's quilted. Very pretty. Anyway, I'll fix that up after. Are you with me?
Yeah.
Or not with me?
Yeah.
Okay. We had a question on the beginning, and it's gone a long way
What?
by, but it was about the
stylus.
stylus, and I don't have it on me. I wish I did.
Well, before you get too deep into the styles,
Okay, go ahead and do
finish
that.
news real quick.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry.
So that's all that came in for new. We've got other stuff on the way. I could have gotten other bills, but but we do have a couple classes on the calendar. If you got the email late yesterday, because it went out late because it was a day yesterday. We do have Christmas stockings coming up. I believe I put them on there for next Tuesday, and then there's going to be a Saturday after Thanksgiving. Those are not the fancy Becky stockings. Those are going to be the simple Brent stockings.
They're very nice.
They will be nice, yes. And we will probably do a little bit of embroidery on it. But that class is going to be really geared towards if you haven't done stockings before, it's a quick, easy way to do
Will
stockings.
they be a lined stocking?
Oh, yeah. We're going to line the stockings.
Will they have cuffs?
Yes. They're going to have cuffs and lining. Otherwise, it's not a stocking.
No, there are stockings with no linings and cuffs. So
I'm not that bad.
Okay. I
Yeah,
just was
lined with
getting
cuffs.
clarity.
Yeah, well, if you keep an eye on things, hopefully I'm going to have my sample made up tonight, so you
Okay.
have pictures of it tomorrow.
All right, good.
The other thing that's on there is advent calendars. Yes, I put it on there as a class. I'm not sure. If you want to come in and make advent calendars with me, feel free. It's going to be fun. But basically, we have a ton of these advent calendar panels in the store. This is just one of them. We have I think a half a dozen different styles.
Yeah, now to clarify, because it took me a minute to figure this one out, you're actually going to fold this
Yes, you're going
up
to fold
to
that.
make the pocket.
Yes. But there's these
That's how we do that.
Yeah, these are pre-printed panels, and
Yeah.
they'll make into an advent calendar before we're done. This is just one of them. We have, like I said, we have a bunch of different ones to choose from. That's also on the calendar. It's kind of a straightforward. I just figured we'd put it there if somebody wants to come in and have fun and hang out with me and make things. Who knows where it'll go from
You
after we
never
make
know.
that. But
You never know.
but those are the two new classes on the calendar, and keep an eye out. We'll be adding some more stuff probably.
Oh, it's just been crazy.
But it's been crazy because we got like Thanksgiving and
Oh
stuff.
my gosh, I've had grandchildren too. So between grandchildren and Thanksgiving, I'm like,
Kaya's made them with no cuffs. But it doesn't look like a stocking without a cuff. I might even put cuddle on the cuffs because I have like scrap cuddle, and those make great cuffs. Anyway,
they do.
it's on the calendar. If something you're interested in, sign up. Yeah, that's all I
We
really
wish
have.
you were closer to Gene.
And I think that's all we really
And
have.
Gene
for
wants to know
news.
an example of the advent calendar that you are going to do during the class. That could be one.
That could be one, yeah. I'll have a picture of that up too here shortly because I'll have the advent calendar probably done, if not tonight, tomorrow night.
Okay, you heard it, Gene. He's committed to having a picture posted.
Well, I put the class up, so I was like, I better get something
You better
made so people can
put
see
a
what we're
picture with
doing.
the class. Yeah.
So,
I'm with you, Gene. I don't want to come make an ugly one.
well, I will get pictures posted of all the different ones. I think if you look up advent calendar on our site, the panel should pull up. But we have a good selection
We have
of
a
panels.
selection of them.
This
yeah.
one is kind of more traditional. We have some really nice, kind of classy looking ones with some sparkly metallics in them. There's some, but that's that.
Okay.
That's all I have.
Okay.
I'm so woefully unprepared today.
That's all right. Can I go to Turbo Tip? Eddie, are
for
you with
sure.
me? This is another silly turbo tip, but I truly believe this turbo tip, so I'm going to share it with you. And I know this is a conversation that we've had many times
What?
about
What
the
style?
small cutters.
Yes.
The 28 millimeter cutter.
Yes.
A lot of people will say, here we go, will say, there we go, will say, oh, what do you need one of those for? I never use it. And I can't disagree more.
I'm not saying you don't use it.
I'm not one of these people that's going to cut 8 layers, all right, first of all. This
Yeah.
is not what I'm using this for. I'm using it for 1, maybe 2 layers. Usually I don't even feel comfortable cutting 2 layers. That's how bad I am. I know. Brent wants the 60 millimeter that's going to plow through 12
No,
layers.
I don't like the 60. The 45 is.
I find the little guy much more accurate, especially if you're cutting small pieces, guys. Much more
and
accurate.
if you're cutting curves, they work awesome.
That was my next point. If you have any curves that you're cutting, this is the guy. He's so easy to use. I find him very easy to freehand with this guy. So, Brent, have we got these in yet? This will
don't
push
even
him
know.
to finally get them.
Do we not have them in? I know.
Yes,
ordered them.
Rhonda, I agree.
I know.
Do people
I know
like the
that
advent calendars when the numbers are not in order? Well, Kimberbell's isn't in order, and we're going to be showing that one off.
I don't know. See,
Different strokes for different folks.
We have panels that are different. We have some
We
that
have several different ones, yeah. But don't discount this, and it's a great stocking stuffer, too.
Yes,
okay.
we should have. Do
Bev's,
we not have them on the wall?
Bev makes a good point. She likes the bigger one for cutting batting.
Yes.
To be honest with you, Bev, I like this one for cutting batting, so that's interesting. I guess it would depend on the batting I was cutting. But the batting I use the most is that embroidery, I call it embroidery batting, that, thank goodness, Brent now sells by the yard. And that has no stretch, and it has very little loft to it. And that's why I like the little guy. But
I
anyway,
know that
there's
I've
my
got
tip,
those-
and it's a nice Christmas gift too.
I have those ordered, but I'll have to see if they came
Yeah,
in
and it
yet.
doesn't have to be the clover one. This is just one happened, my newest
Yeah, I
one
usually
I got.
get the.
I do like the clover one because it goes left or right, but any 28. The trick is the 28 millimeter. All right,
Our website says we have some,
all right.
but do we?
I don't know. But 28 millimeter cutter is my turbo tip. If you don't have it in your arsenal, ask Santa for it. And
Yes.
I'm telling you, don't reach for it and see how much you like it.
Yeah,
It's a
and
go-to for me. Okay.
it's
that's my
a
turbo
nice
tip.
tool to have.
We have 4. Danny's
See?
letting you know we have 4
Yeah,
in
okay.
stock. You're supposed to order them for the classroom.
Yeah, I know. There's the other few things I was
Yeah.
waiting on for the classroom.
Okay, well, we have some for sale, so that's good too.
Yeah.
And Bev wants to know, do you have larger cutters as well? 50
The-
and 60s.
The 60 millimeter, I may have some on the shelf. I have to double check.
Danny is like shopping
Yeah.
for us. Okay, Danny's on it.
One of the problems with the 60 millimeters versus the 45, just from a consumer standpoint,
Yep.
is that on the 45, most of the blades are interchangeable. One brand will interchange with another brand. The
Yep.
60 millimeters, one of the problems you run into is the blades are not consistent across the brands.
I did not know that.
Some 60 millimeter blades have a smaller hole versus a bigger hole.
Really?
So they don't.
Guess I've been lucky.
So they don't always mesh. That's one of the problems I have with 60 millimeter.
Oh.
I like the Ergo Cut 60 millimeter, but I believe that it has a different blade than the Olfa 60
That's
millimeter.
probably
which
why
was
I don't have
most-
the problem, because I don't like the ergo ones.
Yeah, and I think we've got Ergo Cuts, but
Yeah, you do. A lot of
but
people
yes.
like them. I'm just not a fan.
but yeah, I've got to double check on
Nope,
the 60s.
no 60s. Okay, well, Bev needs
We'll
one
get
for
some.
Christmas.
Okay, we'll get them ordered up. We'll have 60s next week.
All right, cool beans.
All right, quilt of the week.
You have it?
Of course I have it.
I feel
meant
like
to-
my window
meant
is smaller.
I meant to hang it up, but I just got so.
Oh my
sidetracked.
gosh, I know whose this is.
And she was going to pick it up yesterday, and she graciously just said that she would let me keep it till Friday.
Oh, I've been watching this thing on the arm. Okay, this is another macaw that Jean made. This is her second macaw. And she totally changed the fabrics.
Yes.
And went with where we had dark before, she lightened it up there. I mean, it's just
Yeah, I wanted to hang it up. I just didn't get to it because
okay.
to
I
really
wish
show.
you had to, because it's beautiful.
Well, maybe
And
you
are
will.
these batiks, Jean? I think they are.
Yep, those are
Yeah,
batiks. Yep.
she used batiks on it too. It just totally looks so different, doesn't it?
It's way different than the
And then she
sample.
picked up the blues and the whites. It's just a lighter, airier version. Wait a
Can you
minute.
zoom
Oh,
out,
look
Eddie?
at this is different too. What
Yeah.
she did over here. Isn't she
Yeah,
creative? Look
It's
at this.
it's a really nice.
And
It's
she's
it's
used,
way different
and
with the
she's
white
used different
background.
whites too. She
Yeah.
didn't stick with the same white
It's
all over.
it's a really different. If you saw.
I
The,
love it, Jean. I love it.
I wish
So
I-
creative. Very creative, and I can't believe she made 2 of these.
I know, but
You
they came out
started your
great.
3rd one yet, Jean?
They're fantastic. It is a great.
It's beautiful, and the quilt design looks good too, Brent.
She did she did a
It's
great
really
job
well
with
done. Congratulations, Jean. Quilts of the Week means you get $50 off
Yeah.
the quilting of this beauty. It
And
being
what I'm
that
gonna
this is a
do-
queen size
it.
quilt.
And there you go. This is. I'm just gonna kind of give
There
you
you
that.
go, the corner, because it's so
Yeah.
different. This is a totally different border. But what I like about this is how it shows. Should have them side by side. What it shows is how cool Judy's patterns are.
Yeah,
You can
because-
pick up different borders for different centers.
Oh, you know what you can do? We can.
That
do.
one doesn't have the curvy flying geese on it. So cute. What are you doing?
I was gonna say we could.
Oh no, you're gonna make everybody sick.
Yeah, never mind.
Beautiful job.
She did a great job. It's
It shows the
fantastic.
components and the different styles of light
Yes.
and dark fabrics. I like it a lot.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Eddie. Can you show that one behind you?
Oh, can he?
Of course you can. Of course you got to.
He's trying to shoot the
other
one the first one that
So
we
that-
made. Get
so-
to the corner, Ed, because that's where she picked different borders completely.
Yeah.
There you go. See how the borders on that one?
Got a way more,
Spiky and curved geese. And then on the second one she made, she went with more traditional straight borders. Well, they're not. And then like a sawtooth I don't know what.
Yeah.
There's a technical name for that by Judy Niemeyer for this border, but I don't know what it is.
But you can see on that
But
border.
see how pretty that is?
It's
She did
a very
sash
different
here.
border, but it's a gorgeous quilt.
Yeah.
She did fantastic
And
with
totally changed the colors. That's what I
Yeah.
love about those patterns. There's so much you
Yeah.
can do with them. So much. Okay,
Yes.
congratulations, Jean.
it. This is the braided rope.
Braided
border.
rope border.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jean. Thank you.
It's a fantastic quilt. It's
It is
gorgeous.
indeed. It is indeed. All right, what else you got?
That was all I had for
Do you
today.
have a workbench?
I didn't even do the
Bleh,
workbench
bleh,
today.
bleh. Okay, so it's back to me.
I was gonna do workbench on Advent.
Okay,
And
well,
I don't know.
he's going to actually give me some time today.
I mean, one of the
It
things
is gorgeous.
I was gonna get into was the thread caught in the top of the machines, but I didn't have time to prep it because you know how you had that problem on your machine.
Okay, guys, you know how
Somebody
2
called
weeks
yesterday
ago,
with the same problem.
2 weeks ago, we talked about timing, did we not? Guess whose machine, ever since we had that
Yeah, that
thing
the-
on timing,
Yeah.
guess whose machine is out of timing? And my machines, I've never had a machine
Well,
out of timing before.
Well, it's related to the same issue you had up top here
Okay.
because that got jammed up. But I had somebody else call with the same issue, and I was going to cover that today, but then I was
Well,
like,
maybe you can cover it next week.
I was planning on
because-
next week because
Please, because that's something we all.
Yeah, it's-
I looked for my jam. I knew it was jammed. It was jammed so bad the needle wouldn't move.
Yep. And
I did take my machine apart. I did. And then I went, okay, this is further than I'm comfortable because it was really off, not just a little off. And I did take it apart to look for my jam up there, and I couldn't see it. And I said, I'm not going to dig any
And
deeper.
we're going to get into. We'll get into it next week. I didn't have time to prep a machine to get into it today because of everything going on.
But
because
apparently I'm not the only one.
Yeah, I actually was one of the things last night. Somebody gave me a call and I spent a little time on the phone with them, walking them through
And
it.
seriously, what happened was a message came up on my machine saying, hey, malfunction,
Yep.
needle might be bent, blah, blah, blah. And now, granted, if I use all my muscles, I probably could have cranked my needle, but I was uncomfortable because it really didn't want to move. And then when I pushed the little button to make my needle go up and down, it went. I said, okay, I'm done. That's beyond where
Yes,
I'm comfortable.
I will just say that the hand crank. A lot of people get used to not using the hand crank on these higher end machines because you really don't need to.
It didn't want to
But
crank.
it is a good way to check if you get a malfunction error. The first thing I always have people do is turn the hand wheel. Says if you can turn it easily, then there's something else going on. But if the hand wheel doesn't turn, then there's a jam.
Yeah.
And
mine
9 times out of
didn't
10,
wanna
it's a
turn.
jam.
Yeah, mine didn't want to turn.
And it's a good
easily.
thing. If it throws an error message and you're jammed, it's good because we know that you're jammed.
I was really jammed, even though I couldn't find it.
If it throws an error message and it does turn and you're not jammed,
yeah, I couldn't find it.
that's a
I had
big
it.
problem.
I had it all apart up here.
Yep.
And then I said, okay.
Yeah, we'll get into that
And it
next week.
goes.
I just didn't have time to prep that
Yeah.
this week, so
Okay.
I didn't want to.
All right, that's good. But hey, guess this machine needs timing now. It's beyond something I'm going to do. So it's here for you guys to do. Woohoo, woohoo. Okay,
Sort of.
I have a giveaway for next week. A spinning wheel giveaway. Brent, you're going to laugh when you see this. This is a pack. I told you would laugh. This is a pack, the beautiful colors. Again, I'm afraid to open them because I want people to know it's not used. There are several different colors in this. It's iron-on glitter. You do not need a scan and cut. If you've been working on any of the Kimberbill projects, Kimberbill? Where did that come from?
Kimberbill.
Kimberbell projects, you've seen where we
Maybe
take
need to start
glitter.
Kimberbill, the knockoff.
I know, I guess maybe. Maybe it's because I'm always paying a bill to Kimber. You don't need a scan and cut to use this in your sewing repertoire. Kimberbell uses an iron-on glitter quite frequently when we're doing applique work. So, with stockings coming and Christmas coming, who better than glitter?
Mm-hmm.
Glitter. This is an unopened pack of scan and cut glitter, and you can use it on a scan and cut you want. It even came with some things to scan, but I'm just suggesting any applique you can use this for. So, all you got to say in the comments is Gotta get my glitter on.
Get my glitter
Gotta
on.
get my glitter on.
Gotta get my glitter
And
on.
just so you know, this is not my last pack of glitter. I have glitter, glitter, and more glitter. So,
Yes.
here you go. And you can cut this on any electronic cutting machine if you do want to cut it out.
Yeah.
It can be scan and cut. It can be silhouette. It can be Cricut. So, there it is. Got to get your glitter on. I'm expecting... Yes, Joe. I'm expecting John to do something fabulous if he wins.
With the glitter?
Yeah, he's very artsy. I was gonna say artsy fartsy. Oh wait, I guess I just did.
Yeah.
John
Has a good eye.
Joseph, yeah, got to get my glitter on. You got to do it. Yeah, guys, but you got to do it after we post the video. But thank you for participating. I love it. So there.
Yes, okay.
That's next week's spinning wheel giveaway.
Spinning
All
wheel
right.
giveaway.
All right. So now what?
You
got nothing. I got
no,
keep going.
I had a thought, but I got nothing.
You had a thought.
I'm looking
That's
at your
always
cup of
dangerous.
cheer, and was that the fabric that was in the kit?
Yes.
Because I like the colors.
I know, but
I
I'm
love
waiting for my fabric.
I just got the bill for it, so you might see it today or
I
tomorrow.
hope so. You're holding me up.
It's coming.
We started Cup of Cheer 2 weeks ago in-house for people who had never done Kimberbell before. Just so you know, this is the Advent calendar, Kimberbell Cup of Cheer. If you've ever done Kimberbell, and yes, this is embroidery machine talk right now. If you've ever done Kimberbells, you know what they want us to do is hoop each one of these blocks one by one. Oh, thank you, Janice. That's not the Mika one. I don't have the Miska one. I'll bring it in next week, Janice. But if yours isn't working, it's probably not. It's probably because I know. It's probably because it's not. Help me, Brent. A capacitor.
Capacitance, yes.
Stylus. It's a specific type. So this is what they should look like. I don't know if you can get that up for Eddie to see.
It's got the little.
It's
dot
got a
on the
little
end.
plastic piece on the end of it.
I'm gonna be right behind it.
And when you go to use it on the screen, can you turn that on? Maybe you can show on the screen. You have to tip it on the end. It's not straight up. You kind of tip it on the end. Do you want to show how to use
show
it?
on screen.
It's a little tricky. Yeah, you can go into Design Center. We'll see if we can get a shot.
And I'm gonna put it on there.
So, see how it's got a plastic thing on it? So I will bring the other one I suggest. I'll make sure I bring it in next week because I truthfully can't remember. But see how if you tip it on its side, if you go straight up and down, you don't get the same results.
You know?
Well, Brent does. Maybe I just don't have sausage fingers.
Yeah, well, you can.
Yeah,
yeah.
But it has to have that little plastic thingy, and it has to be a capacitor one. Am I saying that right?
Yeah, let's see. It was skipping around on me.
There's only certain ones that will work on these screens. For example, your
And
Apple.
and you do have to put a little bit of pressure on
You
it.
do
too.
have to put a little pressure on.
it
And
has
your
to be-
Apple pencils will not work on these screens. This is totally different technology.
Yes.
3D snowflakes. Oh, Jonathan, I would like to see 3D snowflakes.
Yes.
That would look nice.
Anyway.
Okay, so Janice, I'm going to make sure I bring the exact one in next week. But my guess is you've got to have the right kind. And you have to have the right tip on it.
It's got to be
The Miko
capacitance,
ones
yeah.
come with more than one tip, and this is the tip you want.
Okay. I don't know anything about it.
Yeah. Well, I'll bring it in.
All I know is brother did send me a list at one point when people were complaining about how awful the
big fat one is.
this thing is.
Yeah.
Everybody's complaining when these first came out how awful these were.
Yeah.
So brother actually sent us a list of compatible.
Ones that will work.
Yeah.
I have one
Yeah,
that
and I
does
can-
work,
and I can look that list
like
up,
it a
but-
lot. So
But if you use this, this is like using
So,
a shotgun.
brother came out with their own
Yeah.
to make things right. Excuse me. All right, so let's.
Or I would also recommend a mouse if you're doing a lot in Design Center. A mouse works fantastic.
An old-fashioned wired
Just
mouse.
old-fashioned USB mouse.
Cheesy one.
Yep.
Cheesy, meaning inexpensive, wired mouse.
Yes.
Okay.
The one
all
that
right.
probably came with your computer that you got
You're
rid
welcome,
of.
Janice. Okay, so Cup of Cheer Advent Calendar.
Yes.
Typically, when we do these, Kimberbell has us cut everything, put everything in little baggies, label everything, and then we make one block at a time, and then we sew our blocks together. That's what we typically do. I get so bored doing that. I mean, there's like over 50 blocks in this thing.
Now, when you do
I
that,
get so bored
are you doing
so
your
fast.
embroidery first and then trimming the block around the embroidery,
Well,
or do you trim the side?
Hold on to your pants.
Well, no.
man.
How does
I'm about to tell you.
How does Kimberbell have you do it?
Kimberbell has us oversize our embroidery.
And then you trim it down.
And we trim it
Okay, that
down
makes
after
sense.
we're done. Kimberbell instructions have us oversize our blocks by a good 2 inches all the way around. They have us put our batting in, and we can choose to do a background quilting now, which I will also talk about. Then we do either our applique or our stitching. And then when that's done, they tell us what our finished size is. For example.
But I'm going to throw that out there right now as a hint, because I see this a lot with like Christmas stockings. People will embroider it after they've cut the fabric to size. Embroider first, cut later.
Except if you do my method,
Okay, that's fine.
which I'm about to talk about why I like it. So, for example, this mitten block right here, am I showing? I'm okay? Okay, it tells me I'm going to use a piece of fabric for the background that's 6.5 by 8.5. All right? I just told you, I know that's oversized. Cut it out. And then down here at the very bottom, it's going to tell me to trim my block down when I'm done to 4.5 by 6.5.
So you start out by like 8 by 8.
So I start out at 6.5 by 8.5.
Mm-hmm.
And I do is applique a mitten on it. And then I trim it down to 4.5 by 6.5.
Okay.
The reason I don't really like that is because now I've got stabilizer I've hooped.
Mm-hmm.
I've got SF101 that they tell me to put on the back of this block that I then trim down. I have batting that I have to trim in the hoop.
So you have a lot more waste than just that fabric.
I do.
Okay.
And it's very time consuming. So 2 things I tried, and I think everybody is really liking it. One is when I go to cut my, when I go to organize my pieces, I did not do it the way Kimberbell said with all these little baggies. See how they tell you to create all these little baggies? I'm not kidding. You have the baggies for this. Lots of baggies. I said, no. I'm not doing that.
So if you've got a Coke habit, you want to save your baggies?
Yeah, I'm not doing that. But see above that how it says Section 1, Section 2, Section 3, Section 4, Section 5?
Yeah.
Guess what I did? Section 1. Ugh. Everything for Section 1 is going in my Section 1 envelope. Everything for Section 2 is going into my Section 2 envelope, and so on. So I have 7, this happens to have 7 sections. Instead of 30 plus baggies, I have 7 little folders. See what they look like when they're all sitting in there ready to go?
And then when you're done, you can take the tape off and reuse them for another project.
Or just tape over it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I usually just tape over
Nice.
it. But you can, these are dry erase actually, but I found the dry erase was coming off prematurely.
Yes.
So I went with the tape. But so I said, let's just do it by section and let's make them by section. Are you ready for Section 1? If Brent would ever get my fabric in,
You were here when I ordered it.
next week I would like to show him how I'm going to put Section 1 and Section 2 together.
Fingers crossed
But
he'll be here today.
Of course, I'll talk about fabric, but of course the fabric I wanted he didn't have, so I made him go out and buy more fabric.
It was good fabric, though.
It is great fabric.
Like, I didn't realize
So-
how nice the colors were in the kits.
I know, that's what I'm telling you. Here's Section 1.
Those are beautiful colors.
They are beautiful. Eddie, do we have a top down on this? Is that working or no?
Yeah, it works.
Okay, I'm going to put it.
Of course, the colors aren't as good. I got to get that camera fixed. so the
Well,
colors
I
are
know,
better.
but the things I want to talk about.
Yeah.
Look at this. What I did
So
is.
what you're saying is, according to Kimberbell's instructions, you would have made this separate
Yep,
as a block and cut that down
Yep.
to sew into this after you're done.
yep,
And then you would have done this separately
yes,
and this separately.
yes.
Okay.
And then I would have sewn them all together.
All together. Okay.
And what I did instead is I look at the back of the book. Everything is in this book. You just have to know where to look. In the back of the book, page 61, it clearly lays out the sections I need. Okay? So I took section 1, and I actually drew a little diagram
Mm-hmm.
of what my block sizes were.
Okay.
Because I'm not gonna this guy here he's gonna be at 4.5.
Yeah.
They have me cut him at 6.5.
Okay.
Well, I don't want to take a 6.5 square. It's not mathematically not going to attach to all my little 2.5s.
Okay.
So, oh, thank you, Teresa. Something to show up. I thought you were gone. Oh, excuse me, Teresa just walked in. Oh. So what I did, instead of doing them oversized, I went through the book just by section 1 first, guys. That's what all these boot tags are. All I care about is section 1. And I looked at the trimming instructions.
So you just went straight to trimming to see what you're trimming it down to.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. And then what I'm able to do is piece these all together before I even start embroidering or appliquing or anything, or quilting or anything.
So similar to what you do with the prairie, where you piece the background first. You're
Yeah.
creating that, and that's your canvas to embroider on.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you'll notice what that saves me is I've backed by 101, but I backed this whole big piece with SF 101.
Okay.
I didn't cut lots of little pieces of 101. I cut one big size. And then instead of lots of little pieces of batting,
You have one piece of
I
back,
have one piece of batting.
which will give you better seams where they come together.
Well, it just feels better. Now I don't have anything built into
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
I have no additional stabilizer
Mm-hmm. Okay.
because I was able to hoop with this. So I've eliminated the soft and subtle or the tearaways or don't
Now,
need
are
them.
you when you do this? Are you
And you do not need a luminaire to do this.
now
Any size hoop.
when you do this? Are you floating that in the hoop, or
No,
are you
I'm
hooping?
hooping.
You're
it.
hooping
I'm
all
hooping.
of that.
That's why I have this oversized,
Okay.
and that's how come mine isn't wicked
Now, are you
distorted.
hooping the top as well, or just the stable, or just the batting?
Just I only care about hooping the batting.
Okay, so you're
That-
floating the fabric, but you're
Well,
hooping
it
the
gets
batting.
anchored the first time you do
Oh yeah, I
something.
know, but
It
I'm
gets
just saying
anchored.
you're not trying to hoop that in.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. This is what's going to hold it. This guy right here.
Okay, so you just hoop that up and away
Yeah,
you go.
and if I'm nervous, in the beginning I might tape it or put a couple pins in it, to hold the edges down. But so then what happens though, because I'm waiting for my background fabric, because here's the Taj Mahal.
Okay.
This is where I'm like, dun da da.
Yeah.
You'll notice that I followed their instructions to the T. They told me to use a background quilting here, so I did. You can't barely see it. It's like little squiggles coming out of my package. This is going to tie up with a bow and hold candy canes. But you can hardly see it, so that I considered a waste of time. This background quilting, at least I could see the majority of it. This one I didn't bother with because he's so tiny. This one, I could go back here and say the only one I really think made a difference is this one around cheer. And
Yeah.
even that I can debate because the fabric is busy.
Mm-hmm.
Now, keep in mind there's no back on here yet,
Yeah.
right? Now I'm ready for my back, Brent,
It's coming.
which isn't here yet because I, of course, had to pick a special one.
Yeah, but
By the
it's
way,
available.
when you pick your backing for this technique, get a busy, non-directional one. Because otherwise you're going to drive yourself nuts matching up stripes or one directions. So I be a nice Christmas Kimberbell non-directional backing is what I have coming. And I think you got like 4 different ones.
Yeah, we
So
got
if you
a
don't like
few.
mine, there's another one that you like. When that backing goes on, now I'm going to quilt all these other blocks and I'm going to quilt it with the backing on. So what's going to happen is I'm not going to have just a boring backing anymore. I'm going to have a backing that has quilting on it. See the beauty? Because they have us quilting all of these at one at a time.
So you're going to just quilt that after.
And then they put them together and the back has nothing on it. So I did a couple things. One, these will get quilted, and I will use Kimberbell's quilting to quilt these as instructed in the book. But in addition to that, Brent, can you go into I want you to go to embroidery. What are you doing?
I'm trying to look up your order to see
Oh,
the
okay.
fabric's coming.
I want you to show them how to create a stamp of this snowflake.
All right.
Because what I did, in addition, and now this is not this thing I'm going to show you right now, you can't do with every machine. But the results, I mean, you could echo around this by hand.
And you have that saved in the...
No, you're going to, well, I probably do, but you're going to create it.
I'm going to say, yeah, I'm going to create it, but where's the pattern
on the
at?
stick. Oh, actually, I'm going to show you how I organize my files, too. If you go to the USB stick.
Yep,
he's
so
in
that's a
there,
stick, yep.
and go to cup of cheer.
Cup of cheer, yep.
Yep. See how I do section 1? They drive me crazy how they organize their patterns. They go, this is a stitch file, this is an applique file, this is a this file, and you never know where to find them. So I actually take all the files, and because I'm making it by section, I'm going to organize them by section.
All right, so this is section 1.
That's section 1. And I'll tell you, it's so much funner to do it this way.
And this is the snowflake?
So there's the snowflake. Now, the beauty of this is while I'm in here, I can create an echo of that snowflake and save it on my machine. So when I come back to do all my quilting, I am going to just echo this snowflake. And then on my back, I'm going to have a snowflake.
Okay.
So, want to show them how to do that?
Okay, so I've just loaded up this pattern.
Yep, it's just, and I'm not adding these all in one hoop, guys. That's why I said this technique works for even those with smaller hoops. Just use your grid after you piece it together. Use your grid to line stuff up.
So, on your brother, and this is going to work on Luminaire, and it should work on the Stellaire, the Dream Machine, and the Dream Creator, the Dream
Yeah,
Series.
just not the really tiny ones, but you can...
There is, I believe, there is a similar function maybe built into the 1700. I haven't actually checked, but it might be there.
The bottom line is, if you really want to, though, you can just go around it by hand.
Yeah. But if you press this button, so I'm just loaded up, and I just came into edit here, and I'm just going to tap that there. What this is going to do is this creates the echo. Now, this is asking me how far around do I want it. I don't want it tight to
point two, or nothing, no bigger than 0.2.
like 0.02 or 0.2?
0.2. Keep going on 0.1 is it? Because you want to have wiggle room. You
Yeah.
don't want it to hug.
And
This
so
is beautiful embroidery, and I don't want to be hugging my snowflake.
And if you're
I want to
noticing-
have some wiggle room.
As I
put
go
it on.
bigger, you'll notice that the line is distance is
Yeah.
getting further from the
See, and you're at 0.1 now.
0.1.
3.6.
Yeah.
So, if you go to 0.2, there you go. See how the centers are disappearing?
Yep.
That's what I would go for.
So like right
but
there,
again,
point-
you can do what you want.
Yeah.
That's the beauty.
So we'll do something like that. So that's 0.76, and I'm going to do hit memory.
Yeah.
Memory, yep.
Oh, you
That
did
one-
it so fast
Yeah,
they
we'll
didn't
do it.
see
I'll
the
do it again.
message. Do it one more time. This is such a cool trick.
I should get the mouse for this.
Pillow to match.
So I'm just going to do this again. I'm not going to bring the point up again. I'm just going to show you
Gina,
this.
how does this affect your fabric selections?
Oh yeah, you don't need to. You don't
It
need to cut
doesn't.
as much.
It doesn't affect my fabric
But your
selections.
cuts that's calling for, you can probably get away with less fabric because you're not
It
oversizing.
does take less fabric, but I know some people who were taking the class actually cut their fabric using the little
Yeah.
map. We all made maps for each section.
I just want
And
to show this real quick.
I use
So
their
I'm gonna-
cutting instructions and then cut it down after I have my map because my brain can only handle so much.
And the other option on here is you can do inside where it cut, but we're
Right.
not going to do that. But when you hit memory, it's going to tell me that's going
Well,
to
you
the
didn't
design
make
center.
it at distance, though.
Oh yeah, but I already did that. I just
Okay,
want to show people
so
how.
this is creating a stamp
Yep, I'm going to hit OK.
that we can use in the design center.
And then this screen is back to where it was.
Yeah.
To pull that
Yeah,
up.
I just sort of, I do it when something is pulled up, like I did it with a cup, I did it with the package, I did it with have a cup of cheer because I didn't know what I want, I did it with the steam. I just did it to have it on hand.
Yep, just to make it.
And now I'll decide whether or not I want to use it or not.
And to pull a stamp up, we actually covered this in the Owners Club last time. So if you wanted a much more in-depth thing on this, we actually spent a lot of time on it. And then you're in Design Center, and your stamps are here.
See, there's the snow 2, pick 2.
Yep. And there we go.
And all we have to do is assign stitches to it.
Yep. So we're gonna make it. We want to make it a running stitch,
Yeah,
the triple stitch or
no,
single.
double.
The
They don't do single from here, which is irritating to me. They've changed it on the quilting motifs, but they haven't changed it over here. But it's okay, I'll live with it.
All right.
All right, now
Stitches
what-
assigned.
What he did is he selected the paint can and then assigned the stitches. A
Yeah.
lot of people forget just because you selected the double stitches doesn't mean they
It
assigned it.
didn't change it, and that's
Yeah,
why
you have to assign them.
one of the tricks, if you are going to play in the design center, and this I tell everybody, if you're going to make a change to your stitch, change the color. Like I'm gonna change this
So you
back
can
to,
see it.
yeah, I'm gonna change this to blue now. So what happens is I come here to the paint. Now I know if I tap this, it turned red, so I know that my change took place.
Right.
If I left it black, it might have taken or it might not have, but I can see the change if I change the color.
Right. So let's follow through real quickly. Hit
Okay.
next. So
All right.
we've just taken a stamp and assigned stitches to it, and you can do that for any of these.
Mm-hmm.
And now, yeah, set it.
So okay.
Now this is when it's actually creating the PES file.
Yeah. It's-
Now, can you just? I know that we throw the projector on just so I can.
Yeah.
So we can see what. I'm not hooping it or anything. I just want them to see what it really looks like because it's pretty cool.
And I'm just gonna hit that there.
So over in the embroidery center now, we actually have a file with stitches on it.
You can
And I don't know,
kinda
can they see it?
Yeah,
Can you guys
yeah.
see it in there? Do you
Yeah.
see the red outline
Yeah,
around my
this
snowflake?
red outline.
So maybe we'll go smaller than 0.2 as I look at it. This
Yeah.
is how you audition. But no, maybe not. So basically this is now if you don't have a projector, you would use a grid or you can scan it. Oh,
Yep.
thank you, Jean. And then now what I'm doing, because now I have my back on
Yep.
as well, on the back, I don't have just a plain spot. I have a pretty little snowflake outline.
Yeah, yeah.
And I truthfully, I would stitch in the ditch too because that's what I do.
Yep.
But you certainly don't have to. And then the rest of these, when the back is on, I will just quilt how I want to.
Yeah, we can do just different things in the block.
So
yeah.
the back goes on when I'm done with appliquing and when I'm done with stitching. But now all I gotta do is add the fabric.
Now,
And I do it section by section.
Now,
I
would
don't wait to
you-
the end.
because you kind of followed the actual directions that Kimberbell
I
gave
am
you,
following the directions.
and you did the background quilting on these blocks
I
before.
did.
If you were to go back and do it,
Yes.
would you skip that?
Yeah, because it would go over my cup.
Okay.
The way Kimberbell does it is it's going to want to,
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, the way that you're doing this now,
yes.
are you seeing that you'd have more value going back and requilting this block? Let me put it over here.
No, I'm just going to stamp.
But what I'm saying is, when you did this, you can see the
Can
background.
you guys see the background
Yeah,
quilting?
you can kinda see.
Kimberbell does all of the quilting before it does the applique,
the
and the
applique.
embroidery.
So my question would be, would you skip that quilting step and just do the applique
Well, this
and
is-
worry about the
this is
quilting
what
later?
I'm playing with now because it was a waste of time on this
Yeah.
one. I can argue that it's kind of a waste of time on
Yeah,
this
you're not
one.
getting a lot out of that one.
I-
This one here, I can see where
This-
it makes sense.
Yeah, I think there are times in this one I don't know that it made any sense. I
Yeah.
was doing what they told me to
Yeah.
do, but to be honest with you, I think a nice little echo around this cup
Okay, yeah.
would have called it a day. And then just save the plain, all of these plain blocks, I would put quilting in those.
Okay.
So I'm doing it because
Well, that's how they
you
do.
know,
Yeah, but I'm just thinking also if you're going to back it after and use that for the quilting, it would make more sense to do that quilting step last instead
yeah.
of first.
Well, when I did Frosty,
Hmm.
and everybody thinks I'm crazy, but I couldn't stand that I didn't have a pretty back. Everybody's like, who cares? It's the back. I actually quilted.
I'm glad that I have some influence over people.
I actually quilted my back before I added it to the
So you have like
front.
a quilted back and a quilted front,
I do.
and then you sandwiched it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
That's why we love you.
Can't handle those plain backs. I can't. Always sends me in an orbit.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. I know. That's me. What can I say?
All right.
So that's that.
So you're piecing all that and then embroidering over the top of it.
I am.
Okay.
Embroidering on top of it after it's pieced together, and I have very little distortion. I'm not even worried about my distortion.
And so you don't necessarily need a large
I
frame.
did do this though. No, you don't need a large
Because
frame.
you can still use the same size hoops in the separate sections.
Yeah.
You're just going to hoop up a section of what you've pieced instead of the individual fabric. Okay.
Yeah, I did on these heavier things like the snowflake, cup of cheer. Even the cup. Some of their stitches are very intensive. So I did float a small piece of tearaway stabilizer underneath
that section.
Yeah, I don't know. You can tell because it comes out so nicely.
So do you put the tearaway underneath the batting or between the fabric?
Underneath the batting.
So it would have been
I
here.
put the hoop on the machine.
Oh, okay.
I hoop this in my favorite magnetic frame.
Yeah.
And then I just take a small piece
Of tearaway.
and just float it, if you will, underneath the hoop.
Okay.
If I have because these are intensive
And you can and so I can see the tearaway still in there a little bit.
a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah, this tearaway inside
Yeah, you
here.
can. Yeah, you can see the tearaway there.
And that will. Oh, I forgot to pick that one out. But,
Well, no, but
the
it's cool so we
tearaway
can
I
see
use,
it.
you don't have to completely take out either.
Yeah.
It gets fibrous.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. But I like the hand of this better
Yeah.
than having all the stabilizer stuck
Yeah.
in
I know
it.
it feels nice.
And I think it held up really great
Yeah.
without
I like it.
additional stuff. So
I like it.
stay tuned. I was going to pick out a new fabric, but if you think it might really be here, I'm going
I
to keep
was trying
waiting.
to look it up. I know
Because
that.
I would love to show you I have two different ways to put the pieces together after they have backs on them, so you can decide which one you like.
Yeah, because you still have to, after you get the sections done, you're still gonna have to put the sections together.
You have to put the sections together.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. All right, that's what I got.
All right.
Too exciting.
Well, that was kind
Now-
of fun. That's a different way to do it. Like I said, I'm a big fan. In this case, I can see why you'd want to piece it first. But a lot of times, like on the cuff on like a Christmas stocking, I have people come in all the time that want to personalize stockings
Right.
after they've been made.
Yeah.
But my experience is it's often a lot easier to embroider your fabric first and then trim it down to size.
Absolutely.
Um,
Absolutely.
but in this case
in
here,
a
it makes-
stocking,
yeah.
I agree with you. Before
Be-
you put it together,
because
I agree
getting
with
that-
you 100%.
getting
This
that-
is before I put it
yeah.
together. I'm just thinking of it in sections.
Yes.
And the reason I had to go by their sections is the way their seams align. You know, nothing matches with anything, which is really good. I don't understand how you put the sections together. Yeah, well, hopefully next week, Kaya.
Yeah. Well, it's
Gonna
the day
put the
before
sec-
Thanksgiving, so we got to keep that in mind.
Oh, that's the next thing I'm going to show you, Kaya. Because there's many different
I was
ways.
gonna say it's probably the week after next. If I
There's
had to
lots
guess.
of different ways to put
Yeah.
your sections together. So I was going to show two methods for
Okay.
putting these sections together. And then guess what? Then I'm going to do borders
Yeah, borders.
way.
Oh yeah, we have all sorts of fun.
my way.
And just as an update, anybody that was excited about the Prairie Lori Holt stuff, we may be doing something similar for the one coming out in March. What was the name of it?
Oh gosh,
Well,
I know it's got critters on it though.
yeah, it's really cute.
It is really cute.
I ordered the fabric for it yesterday.
Oh, it's terrible. And what's our time like? I didn't bring up those things.
Yeah.
Ed, do you have them at the ready?
Yep.
All right. So one thing I wanted, maybe you can look up that quilt
Oh,
we're
here's just
talking about
this
too.
is just a sample that Teresa brought in.
Oh,
we
that
have the
came out
patterns.
cute. I was nervous with that fabric selection, just to be honest with you. I was. I went, ooh, who chose that fabric? She said Brent did. I went, okay, all right, well,
It looks great.
it does look great. It does look great. I'm sorry, it looked like Mom and Pa kettle fabric in
Yeah.
the bag.
Yeah,
So that came out really cute.
Anybody that thinks owning a store is fun, the worst thing is picking fabric
Oh, I know.
colors because you're
I
never
know.
sure what it's going to come out till it's actually made.
That actually came out quite pretty, and I was very nervous when I saw that fabric. I'm like, can you pick your own fabric, please?
Yeah.
And she's like, well, I'm just going to make it because he asked me to make it, and it actually looked very nice.
Thank
So
you.
that's a pattern we have in the store.
Yes.
You held it up for 2 seconds.
Oh,
so
I'll
you
hold it up
really
again
see.
because I was just because I thought you had something you wanted to get to.
Will
before
we be filming
Here,
the
see?
day before Thanksgiving?
Yes, I will be here the day before Thanksgiving. It's probably going to be a quick.
Depends
kind
if I have my fabric.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I did the Turkey Day special last year.
Oh, so is Eddie going to film?
Oh!
So we're gonna have
Tur-
Eddie's.
Turkey Day special?
Yeah, Eddie will be hosting the
Oh,
Turkey
I
Day
love
special.
it.
Yes.
I love it. I love it. That's a good idea.
Yeah, I think I'll run the board for
Yeah,
So
all right, it'll be
tune in
fun.
for a special episode.
Turkey Day special. I love it. Okay, so what I had Eddie pull up for us, I'm hoping, is well, that's embroidery. Okay, embroidery, is that Kimberbell?
Well, you said Kimberbell.
I know I did, I
That's
just-
Kimberbell.
That's Kimberbell. Okay,
We're on.
Kimberbell Me Time is a subscription thing. And,
Yes.
and if you buy through our Four Pines affiliate link, then we get a little commission for it. But I don't know if these are so cute. They came out with each month they're going to do a new little building. So by the end of the year, you'll have a little village. And the church was the first one released in November. It's not too late to get started on it. And then you'll see the candy shop is next. And they're really cute. They're three-dimensional. They use that shape form stuff.
Shapeflex.
They use shape form. I think they call it shape form.
Okay.
And they use glitter. And they use Mylar. And they use, there's all sorts of trinkety things.
They look kind of fun.
So you can either buy just the design, and it's $10 a month.
Yeah.
Or you can add the whole kit delivered to your doorstep. And I think the kit delivered to your doorstep is, I don't want to misspeak. I was hoping it would see us. I think it's $29.99. Might be $24.99.
That's not bad.
It's a little high, but you get all the Mylars and the
say,
organzas.
That's
and
not bad if it
all
has
the
all
specialty stuff.
All that, yeah, because yeah.
But the patents can be downloaded.
Yeah.
Okay, so just so you know, I'm taking that church,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm making it bigger because it's not big enough for me. And I'm cutting it out of gingerbread on my glow forge.
Like real gingerbread?
Real gingerbread.
You can
I
cut-
can even etch my gingerbread.
Can you eat it though when it's done?
Yes. Yes. Why not? It's just a laser.
I know. I'm just thinking, industrial laser cutter does not.
I'm so excited.
I'm
so excited.
I can't wait to see it.
And you cut it after you bake the gingerbread, people. So you make this big sheet of gingerbread, like it's 1/4-inch plywood, and you put it in your cutter. And you take your SVG file, and it goes zzz. Don't laugh at me. You're going to see my embroidered church.
Is it gonna burn the edges though because it's a laser? How's the cut on the gingerbread gonna look?
Oh, it's all in settings, Brent. It's all in settings.
I'm excited. I'm actually curious to see this now.
I know. This is going beyond.
This is one of those things. It's like it's either going to be awesome, or you're going to have a fantastic
You know
story about how awful. It
I know,
failed.
Gene. I feel the same way. And I'm going to make stained glass windows because think about it. If you're a gingerbread maker,
Are you going to?
and I am, we do it every
Yeah.
year. We make a whole village of gingerbread.
Are you going to do the sugar glass thing?
Yes, and think about it. My gingerbread isn't going to be distorted because I'm cutting after.
Nice.
I'm not going to have distorted windows and doors.
Okay.
I'm just telling you.
I'm
I'm on
excited
it,
about
baby.
this.
I'm on
I've
it.
watched enough baking shows to get excited about what this is going to look like when it's done.
Do you know how some people do? Take their Thanksgiving pie and write Happy Thanksgiving on the top of it.
With a glow forge.
Yeah.
Maybe this is what
Etched right into the
maybe
Thanksgiving
this
pie.
is what I need to convince Sarah to let me get something like that.
I will cut it. And they're right. I need a video to show
Yeah.
me cutting gingerbread. Yeah.
Yes.
But, the church file is not just a church file. That was my
Yeah.
point. If you're a paper crafter, it's also beautiful made
yeah.
out of paper. But,
Yeah.
I'm making I'm like, woohoo, gonna be done. Okay, one other file I wanted to show them quickly because as soon as Kimberbell got out there with their village, Embroidery Online said, well, we already have a village. So let's put it on sale. And there, you can buy all or nothing of theirs.
Yeah.
Can we get that bigger, Ed? I don't know if they can see it. They show theirs all in white, but it's cute.
Yeah.
It's cute. Maybe it isn't new. I mean, maybe it isn't old. They also have a Christmas village. Theirs is not as a subscription and does not come with all the goodies.
All I'm going to say is...
And it's on sale for $19.99 a building. But look at some of those buildings. Tell me those won't make great gingerbread houses.
I'm also seeing maybe a cricket class here to make one of these.
Oh, they could be. Yeah, could be. Aren't they
I don't
cute?
know, those birdhouses you guys made that day.
Oh, I know. Oh, but there are some beautiful villages in another. If
Okay.
you want to do a paper cricket class,
Yeah.
I got a different site
Okay.
that I love. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So anyway, that's the rabbit hole I was in.
I'm kind of excited about this. Now you're getting all excited about it.
I got to
Okay.
do something different. Can't be doing the same old stuff.
I hear you.
It's boring. All right.
Okay.
So, is that it?
I think that's
I
it.
think we did it.
Yay! I hope you all learned something out of it today.
And I learned I need to bring my stylus next week.
My hair's looking awesome. Need a haircut.
Dennis the Menace.
Yeah, I need a haircut because it gets long back there. But if I let it grow, maybe I'll grow it
Yeah,
out.
okay.
I'm gonna grow out and get a man bun.
I like a good man bun.
Sarah would cut it off in my sleep probably.
Oh, I like them.
Okay. Anyway, thanks for watching another episode of Shenanigans with Brent and Becky. Join us again next week for
Something.
the
Turkey.
Turkey Day special with Eddie. So on, and be excellent to each other.
Toodles!